You saw me suffer through Conquest Chapter 25.
I sent my absolute best defensive character down here, and he dies.
And Silver Snow Endgame.
Well, that's interesting. Please tell me it didn't...
My dreams and pride.
What?!
You saw Reinforce-Ageddon in Radiant Dawn. But now, welcome to my least favorite chapter in any strategy RPG. Caves of Shadow, aka Dark Beasts in Japanese. Murmel Mountains. Now when you see this map, and the whole map looking like blood red or looking like somebody's insides is pretty fitting. Yeah, there's a gigantic swamp in the middle. It's a pretty big map. And all the enemies are moguls. There's that many on the map to start with. Some of them are in small caves that are far away from your starting position to the point where they're likely to have multiplied a squillionfold before you can reach them. The boss is an Archmogul, the Lord of Murmel, who can create 4 more moguls every turn when it wants to, and it also revives once upon death due to this Azoth. Every single other mogul can potentially split in 2. Also, the objective of this map is to open all chests, including the one that's in the middle of a swamp. And you only have 3 lockpickers maximum. Also, you might be wondering what the heck is up with these chests in like in their own little rooms. Well, I'll get to that later. For now though, manage. Oh, also, how do I loathe this map? Let me count the ways. It's an indoor map. That means no cavalry, no flyers. Your best movement is on foot units with frontiersmen. So, yeah, that's a thing that exists in this game. So I guess I can put Lyria in maybe? Yeah, see, Martel and Frau are not going to be good here. I will want Alicia though, and San, unfortunately, despite how good she is, she's going to suck here because she'll be force dismounted. Oh, Uni. Must not forget Uni. You need as many thieves as possible on this map. Plum also really helps. Yeah, even Sasha's not going to be that good. So we've got Samson, Zeno, Uni, Plum, Shigen, Alicia, Lyria, Vega. Mahen, I kind of want Mahen because he's at least another lockpicker, but who do I kick out for him? Like, honestly, my physical attackers should be good enough to take out most of the enemies. I normally like using Alicia in this map, but sadly, she might have to go. I'm going to put Plum up at the top of the list just on the off chance that maybe she... Oh no, because everyone tends to cluster around homes. You can also only deploy 10 people here, but I mean, it's not like many of the others are really that useful. Now, I could have gone back to Blood and bought another frontiersman. But I want to... Well, one, I kind of want to show off as much pain as possible. But also, I kind of want to make this as close to my first playthrough as possible. Which was also pain. Yes, it's the smell of sucking. So, technically speaking, Chapter 32 might be worse than this. But by the time you get to Chapter 32, you have a lot more access to mechanics and abilities that will let you get through the map much faster. But here, you don't have any such luck. You have to do this the really, really hard way. Like, it's not even hard, exactly, this chapter. It's just so painfully tedious. And I just want to stress again, like, I know that I complain about a lot of the chapters. I really like this game. I enjoy this so much. Holmes, I mean, Kind of, yeah. Oh, actually, I just remembered. Remember how I said before the Thunder Shield is actually really good in Holmes' route? This is why. The Queen Mogul has a Thunder spell, but I can always pull that out of the convoy when I need it. Be very careful, Joey! I mean, Holmes. Oh boy, they're already going to swarm and surround us. They're also annoyingly good at doubling healers because of their attack speed. And they also are annoyingly hard to double. Oh boy, you can't kill hundreds of them. The only one who could potentially kill hundreds of them is Katri. So yeah, Katri's Fire Breath is really useful here, and oh, Mahen starting that far forward is not good by any stretch of the imagination. But I like Plum starting that far forward. Okay, so Samson can go all the way up there, but I kind of want you to dance. Actually, maybe no, she should dance for Shigen, but before that... Oh, Holmes will have to move before and he'll be in the Mahen zone if I do that. Okay, gotta kind of plan this out. Because I wanted to empower somebody, like maybe Shigen, just to make up for his... Because, like, he often falls short of KOing things. Okay, I guess I can advance you a little forward. Just so that I can use your Empower Staff for the first time. There's so many things I could say here. The first thing that came to mind was Shulk's "I can feel the power" quote. But also things like, "The absolute power!" Or the like. And in this map, this is where you'll be very thankful that Moguls don't have battle animations. And yeah, you can see the red dot on Shigen, that means that he has +10 to his strength. So now he can probably one-shot these things with, yeah, that's a one-shot. And you want a one-shot here. Like, you want to one-shot everything here. So, Plum, you're going to dance for him so he can go further. Yes, 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 another dance. This is also the chapter where you will, if you didn't find this map theme annoying before, you really will now. Oh, boy. The other cool thing about Frontiersman is it prevents you from taking damage in swamps. Yeah, this initial corridor is actually a lot wider than it looks. So watch out for Moguls attacking your healers from avenues you don't expect. That happened quite a bit on my first playthrough. Oh, wow, Thieves only have 5 movement in this game? That's really, really irritating. And Mahen only has 4. I'm going to keep him in the rear at this point, because there's no point in trying to mug Moguls. You can't steal monster items, because they're marked with a star. Okay, that's a filled-in star. I guess the filled-in star weapons are enemy only? But yeah, star items cannot be stolen by the steal or mug skill or anything like that that takes items. And it begins! They're multiplying! Later on this map, I'm gonna check the enemy strength chart because it's hilarious just how the enemy strength chart goes. And of course, I'm pretty sure I probably already got this comment in the previous time we fought Moguls, but I can just say it here. Duh, they kind of look like sperm or something. I don't know if that'll get me demonetized or anything, but yeah. Wonder if Shigen should go into the swamp and try and take out those guys. It's not exactly the best use of his movement, because you kind of want to get down here and you kind of want to take out the Arch Mogul as fast as possible, because she can summon 4 little Moguls. So I think that's what I'll do. I'll send that squad over there, and somebody, though... Let's just see if I can... grab... I should have the Thunder... Yeah, there's the Thunder Shield. Grab the Thunder Shield, give Thunder Shield to Samson. Might end up going on Shigen later, we'll see. Or Shigen will just die. That can work too. But yeah, the Thunder Shield raises resistance by 12 against Thunder, which this thing has Thoron, which I believe is just called Evil Thunder in Japanese. So a total attack power of 26, which is pretty solid against most physical attackers. So reducing that by 12 is always nice. Who should... Yeah, dancing for either of those two might help, although at the same time, Holmes not only has Frontiersman, but he's also a lockpicker, so I think I should probably dance for him. Oh yeah, and in my first playthrough, I didn't have Dancer Plum, so I didn't even have Plum at all. I missed her back in Chapter 2, so you can imagine how... Oh, I don't know if I should get into my story of my first playthrough's attempt at this chapter now, or if I should do it later. Holmes has 6 movement. Even with Frontiersman, I think Holmes can only go 1 space at a time in Swamps, maybe, because Swamps still have a cost of 3 for him. Oh no, maybe he could go 2, provided that he starts in the Swamp. Meanwhile, Lyria can't really do a lot. I mean, she could... Nah, I mean... Okay. I'm just gonna use you as a test dummy for potential Sing Refresh. You don't choose who to target because it can have a potential area effect. I don't know if the area effect is like every space surrounding her, or if it's every space surrounding... No, it can't be surrounding the target because you don't choose a target. I'm not very familiar with the intricacies of Lyria singing. We do get to hear some, like, actual music though. And yeah, no refresh on Marhan. But that's pretty much to be expected, because nobody likes that guy. I'm gonna hold off on transforming Katri right now. Oh, okay, good. Holmes did not go in melee range of that guy. Let's look at conditions. Yeah, defeat boss and get items. So thankfully, you don't have to kill all the moguls. Not so thankfully, the moguls in the northwestern corridor, by the time you reach that point, as you can see here, they're gonna multiply so much that you'll probably have to kill them all anyway, just to get that chest. I mean, they halve their HP when they divide, but it doesn't really matter when there's so many of them. And you can usually only kill like 1 per character per turn because they are a little bit reluctant to attack you on the enemy phase. So, yeah. I think you can see the problem here. Like, I know that Gaiden had issues with this kind of thing too, but I don't remember this being, like, this bad in Gaiden. Like, when I played Echoes, I don't remember any of the maps getting this bad, but if we check, like, conditions, how many of them... No, I don't think it tells you how many of them they have, but yeah, look at that red line sharply rising. Oh, this chapter. This freaking chapter. I don't think the boss moves. I'm pretty sure the boss does not move. I mean, I'm half tempted to equip Dullahan just in case, but... Oh yeah, by the way, this right here is a swamp. You actually have to go through it in order to get to the later part of this area. And how much damage are they doing to Shigen? They have attack 15, which is not... Like, which is actually somewhat high on a few characters. I don't want to waste Dullahan, though. Dullahan. I am pretty sure that she doesn't move, and I guess, I'm early enough in this map that a reset now probably wouldn't set me back all that much. Yeah, so 7 move with Frontier. Oh, I have a feeling Holmes still only moves 1 per turn in the swamp, even with Frontiersman. Maybe giving Holmes Frontiersman was a mistake. That being said, though... Oh, they're all clustered around there. That's annoying. That being said, though, there is a map later on in Holmes' route that is Frontier and Seas, and Frontiersman on Holmes will definitely help for that one. That map, though, also has a chest in the middle of a swamp. Yeah, I just can't believe I recently found this out, that the speedrun strat for this map is actually to use Empower on Uni, and so that she can walk in this swamp and get that chest and also kill the moguls along the way, despite her 0% growth. It's kind of nuts. Oh, I accidentally did sing again. I need to turn off her animations. I'll do it the next chance I get, hopefully. I've already been going for almost 15 minutes and it's still only the 3rd turn of this chapter. Yep, there's 4 more moguls. She doesn't do that all the time. Also, you might have noticed there, that mogul just started to move down towards us. I'll talk about that later, because I guess for now, speaking of 15 minutes, every one of those 4 moguls you spawn can potentially become 2 mogul. Really? You just don't want to gain strength, do you? And they love to just vroom around the map like this, and oh my, yeah. My main aim even though it's going to take a bajillion years, is to get Catry up into that northern corridor and just have her just breathe on all of them and kill them all at once. In my first playthrough, I never thought to do that, and yeah. So, on to that story of my first playthrough of this map, because I'm probably going to get a lot of story time in this map because of how ridiculously stupid it is. Yeah, so my first playthrough, I did not have Dancer Plum here. And I also, for some reason, like, I know that I wasn't promoting late, because I'm sure that I had a promoted Xeno, at this point. I definitely had a promoted Xeno. I don't think I had a promoted Samson, because I think for some reason I was actually holding out for Niall on Samson. I don't know why, like, that's a really, really dumb idea, but I guess I just kind of was. I don't think the hand axe is gonna... Oh, they're a little weakened, although his accuracy is kind of shot this way. Please hit. Thank you. The only good Mogul is a dead one. That is normally a horrible thing to say about any species. But, oh, he does move too. That's good, yeah. But that is, like, completely and utterly true for this map. Oh, here's the problem, though. I don't really want to have Holmes go that way, because if he does, then all the Moguls are just going to attack him, and he can't counter them, and he'll quickly get surrounded and get stuck. Yeah, it's not... Oh, wow, my Iron Sword's actually running out. It's not nearly time for me to start getting close to the boss, though. I hope some of those Moguls will approach us and sort of die. Yeah, these two are going to try and swing around here and attack those Moguls. Yeah, I'll get back. So yeah, my first playthrough, I did not have Dancer Plum. I made the really bad mistake of trying to use Martel and Sun on this map. Because I was like, oh, hey, I can, it's totally fine, I can, they're really strong, right? They're not going to be totally crippled by dismounting at all. Or maybe I just forgot this was an indoor map. In a way, maybe Uni shouldn't go that way. Maybe Uni should go and get that one. Although, actually, there are two chests this way. Uni probably should go this way. Yeah, Uni's also quite vulnerable to repeated Mogul smashing, so... Yeah, that's also kind of a thing. Although, I believe, if I'm remembering right, and I could be wrong about this, but I think as transformed, Catry can move in swamps. I probably should have had Plum Dance for her. Yeah, she will say that every time. Let me just check. Oh, yeah, she can. Oh, I mean, only 2 spaces. Oh, and she does have Frontiersman, so that's actually really nice, but she seems to only have Frontiersman as a dragon. Ugh! I need to turn your animations off and stop doing that. Oh, well, at least it's a level up. Wow. I would say that's typical, but she has an enormous luck growth, so that is really, really, like, bad. But, yeah. Didn't have a promoted Vega, Shigen, or Samson in my first playthrough, and... Oh, you didn't attack on the enemy phase. I hate it when they do that. It's just so irritating. And I also did not know the objective was to open all chests. I actually thought this was a route map in my first playthrough. I don't know why I did, but I did. So, all of this culminates in this. Do you want to hear how long it took me to finish this map in my first playthrough of this game? It took me 3.5 hours! I apologize for bursting your eardrums, but yes, it took me 3.5 hours to get through this map for the first time. And the really strange thing is, okay, I'm going to pause my tangent for a second because ooh, you double plum, that's not good. That's really, really not good. Catry could try and breathe. I'm just trying to think about this. So, and she has 1 defense, so they will kill her if she gets doubled. Oh, she can't even go in the swamp and dance for Catry anyway, so that's totally pointless. But anyway, back to my story time. Yeah, so, 3.5 hours. So how I was playing this map back in the day is that I was, you don't even, like, double or anything with that, and you don't even double with that, is that I when I was playing this for the first time, I was playing with the old fan translation. It was around the middle of 2012, and I was still at university, so I was playing this there. And there was one semester at university where I had a day of that week where I had a class in the morning and a class in the evening, like at about 5 p.m, and nothing in between. So I would have to come in at like 9 a.m, do a class, and then just stay for like just a few hours, and until it was time for the evening class that was like at 5 or 6. So I had a lot of free time on that day. I think it was a Friday too. I didn't Jill in my Radiant Dawn playthrough have problems with strength too? That is absurd though, the amount of times you have not gained strength. It's like a 30% growth too. But yeah, I had this day where I had a lot of free time, and I would go into a computer lab and just play whatever games I had on my laptop. Just plug it into the wall outlets there. And it just so happened that one day I was up to this chapter, and it happened to be that time where I had a lot of free time. So I went to the computer lab, sat down, opened up this game, and played and played and played this chapter. Just this chapter. And, like, weirdly, I actually can't... Oh, not again! It's so easy to misclick that, because it's normally where weight is. And I think there were even a few people who were in that computer lab. There weren't any classes there that day, I'm pretty sure, but there were a few people who even just came over and just watched me, and they were probably very confused at what was going on. But yeah, I spent that entire break of that day just in that one computer lab playing this chapter. I knew you'd divide instead of... I am actually a little worried that Katri is going to untransform in the middle of that Lake of Doom. I haven't actually had her untransform before, and meanwhile Vega just goes crazy with his strength gains, because he's Vega. And they had the same growth too, so it really shouldn't... I don't know. I mean, I guess if you've got two characters with the same growth like that, it does average out eventually. This is a little bit annoying, actually. If I successfully destroy both of these with, Fierce Breath... They have 24 Avoid? Seriously? I guess because they don't get weighed down. But yeah, that was the story of my first playthrough of this chapter, and it was completely insane. But like, I didn't. It's funny. Like eventually, I just sort of, I don't know, developed a bit of Stockholm syndrome for this. Okay, I really hope she doesn't end up reverting. Okay, one dead. Both dead, good. That's what I wanted to see. Because she's my only physic user. If she gets into trouble, like, in human form in the middle of the swamp, I don't, like, have anyone else who can heal. Yeah, the problem with the boss is that you're basically forced to take at least one attack from it, because it will use, it will revive once. So you have to kill it twice. Oh yeah, it's still got a lot of attack power. Dullahan does fairly well against it. Like, often I like to wait until I'm in a position where I can actually kill it twice in the same turn. So I guess I'll have Samson go over here and attempt to just hand axe this one. That was a crit too, okay. Unnecessary, but it sums up the general feelings that moguls invoke towards people. Okay, you can just do that. Get rid of another one. I mean, this chapter is at least somewhat decent experience. And I think Uni can head down there towards the next, the chest safely. Just wondering what Holmes does, because I really need Katri up here. You're just not going to eat through those moguls without her breath attacks. I would like the ability to maybe longbow the boss at some point, though. Because, yeah, it seems to count as a flyer, too. And I double it as well. Actually, maybe I could have taken it out twice, this turn. But, oh well, I think for now I'm just going to go over here and shoot this one. Like, I think even non-empowered Uni can't kill those things, can't kill the split ones, even if they're at 1 HP, because they have a defense stat. I keep forgetting they have an actual defense stat. It doesn't seem like they do, but against weaker characters, that does matter. Slowly, Plum will go there. Let me check the enemy line. Yeah, see, our strength has just gone up so much because we've been leveling up a lot. That's kind of weird. Oh, no, I didn't mean... I mean, I knew I'd be raging in this chapter. This is just not the thing I expected to be raging about. I just keep forgetting. It's like the map itself just numbs me to the fact that I need to turn off our animations and stop clicking sing. I don't even want to even think about how many turns this took in my first... in my first playthrough, but it was probably somewhere in the 50s. Okay, good. I like it when they go for me on the enemy phase. They don't always... I don't know what their AI is like. They seem to be a little bit 50-50 about whether they do that or not. And they also have a chance of dividing every turn. Aren't you glad that I set the enemy movement speed to fast as well? Because I didn't do that in my first playthrough either. I know you're probably sick and tired of hearing the phrase, first playthrough, first playthrough, first playthrough over and over, but like that's... yeah, my story of this place. Okay, now I'm going to longbow the boss in the face. You have 12 defense though, so you're taking exactly 20 times 2 from that, but I can still crit you, possibly. And that is the best might that I have, so there's no way that I can... this is a little annoying, actually. Just the normal boss theme here. It's interesting how there seems to be a forest in the middle of the cave. I do like how this thing actually has a name, though, like the Lord of Murmur. It's like it's got sort of lore reasons for being here. Now, you have the Thunder Shields. If I chop this Mogul... Mogul successfully chopped... then, I mean, you're probably going to go for Samson, and then, again, he has the shield, so he takes significantly less. But just in case, Shigen's going to use Dullahan here. So, we're going to give you your first death, Queen Mogul, with someone who's very familiar with death. Yep, there's that Azoth working. And it's a star item, so you can't steal it. Otherwise, that would be kind of crazy. Yeah, like, not only did they make all of these enemies just... they give them the ability to multiply, but they also gave the boss the ability to spawn 4 per turn, if she wants to, while also reviving on death 1 time. It's just... yeah. But anyway, you might have noticed, out of the corner of her eye there was another, like, tile of green that was lit up. Also, Holmes was supposed to wade into there and get that chest, wasn't he? I'm kind of just thinking about my plan because I think Mahen was going to go for that one. And Uni is going to go for the others. Yeah, I think Holmes will actually have to wade into the... almost call it a desert. I mean, it may as well be a desert. And I actually think that just to save, like, just so that she's not going to end up reverting when I least expect it, I'm going to revert her now. And then Plum will be on standby to dance for her. Oh, almost did it again. There we go. Yeah, it's above weight and staff, which is just, I don't know why. And that should be everyone moved. So yeah, at this point, you're probably very glad when they brought back Moguls and Sacred Sword. Well, I mean, the funny thing is they're called Biggles in Japanese, at least in Gaiden. But here I think they're called Opuses in the Japanese version. And the early fan translation called them Araman, so completely different name. But they are basically just Gaiden Moguls with a different name, or the same name in this version. Yeah, you can see why they called it Thoron in this translation patch. It looks exactly like Thoron. More strength is always nice, even though Samson one-shots most of these things anyway. Oh, isn't that corridor going to be fun once we get there? Like, at a lot of times I was thinking, okay, I'm definitely going to make this chapter a two-parter, and then I was thinking, you know what? I'm really tempted to just make this one video just so everyone knows my pain from my first playthrough. It's not going to take 3 hours, though, trust me. Yeah, in my test playthrough, this only took about 40 minutes. I did have Lionel in that playthrough, though, and he had Frontiersman. But, like, it is kind of amazing that my knowledge of the game since my first playthrough, like, first time playing, 3.5 hours, second time playing this chapter, like, having been prepared for it and bringing more Frontiersman people, 40 minutes. And also the fact that I actually knew that, you only needed to kill the boss and open all chests. I actually tried to route this in fact, I think what, my memory is a bit hazy, it is kind of insane how long, like, it's still, it still makes me feel really, really weird that the 2010s are considered old. Like, I've had people comment on my Awakening video saying, super old video, but, like, to me 2015 doesn't feel that long ago, but, my memory is a bit hazy, but I actually think that I did kill all the Moguls. Like, I spent all that time, oh, you can't even dance for that would make sense, though. Yeah. I mean, Plum's probably too scared to dance for the dragon, but, like I was saying, I spent all that time just killing the Moguls one by one, and then they were all gone, and then I was like, wait, the map's not over. Why is the map not over? And I was just really losing it because I'd spent over 3 hours in this one map, and then I realized that, because I didn't know that in fact, maybe even the objective menu wasn't properly translated at the time. I wouldn't be surprised if that was actually true. That the objective menu just wasn't translated. Because, basically, I didn't know that the objective was to open all the chests. So, I, killed all of them, and then I just didn't know why the map wasn't ending. And then I think I may have even like went and looked up online and then been like, oh, okay, you're expected to open all the chests on this map? Which is pretty weird, but it's an objective for Holmes' maps, and it makes sense because he's a pirate. I was about to say please don't crit Shigen, but actually I'm totally okay if you do that because he has Dullahan. Nice stock lightning sound there, though. This game does use quite a few stock sound effects, I've realized. Okay, now if I use the Killer Axe against you, I have 27 attack versus your 12, I do exactly 15, don't I? Nice. Pretty sure I do exactly 15. Hopefully my maths is right. Doesn't sound quite as, doesn't roll off the tongue quite like doing your math right. And yeah, it's an actual spellbook it was using. It wasn't just an innate spellcasting ability to use D&D terminology. You actually get Thoron. Oh, and there's a chest where the boss used to be, so the fact that this map is like defeat boss and open all chests, it's kind of a lie because you have to kill the boss to open all the chests anyway. So, yeah, that's, yeah, interesting. I don't know, should Uni go there? Should she try and go there? And yeah, Moguls being flyers, ignore the swamps, because of course... Ignore the swamps, and they ignore the forest, because of course they do. Your thieves, however, do not ignore the forest, and that is really, really... well, I mean, it's probably going to be a bajillion years before this map ends anyway, thanks to that corridor, so... I'm kind of fine with Uni not being super efficient with her movement right now. Speaking of efficiency, I probably should have got Katri to that place faster. Nope, still no refresh. But, oh well. So, what can I talk about now? Because we've pretty much gone over most of this map. I mean, I guess I could talk about a tangent called What Was Karga Thinking with this map? Like, I don't know who in the design department like, took a look at this and thought this was okay? That people would actually not find this tedious at all? It's like, oh hey, let's make a big map where you can't use flyers or cavalry, that is full of enemies that can divide themselves, that are really hard to double. And let's make the boss spawn more, and you get the idea. I've already ranted about that before, but like, again, and not only that, on top of all of that, you might be wondering how you can even get to those chests. Well, it turns out there are invisible paths through the walls. There are only 3 ways you can know about these paths, and this is why this took so long in my first playthrough, because I had no clue how to get to these chests. 1, press the select button to open this up. You can actually see the invisible corridors if you press the select button. 2, watch the moguls move through them on the enemy phase. That's probably how you're meant to find out about these. Or 3, hover over them with the cursor and realize that the terrain there says cave, whereas the impassable parts say dash. So for example, this all says cave, but if you go over here, it's dash. So there is an opening. In fact, is there like a visual indicator at all? I don't know if there's a visual indicator, but regardless, Vega can go all the way in there now. And hopefully those things suicide into him. But also hopefully Mahen is out of the zone. I guess I'll revert so that Plum can dance for you. Unfortunately, Plum's movement sucks in swamps. I mean, giving Plum Frontiersman, I don't know if that's a valid strategy at all. If I had the money, and that would be a lot of money, I would give Plum every terrain skill. Because that would definitely help her out. Come on, please, Mastery. No, Mastery is like the only thing Plum wants when leveling, because that will potentially let her use Physic. But, yeah, it's not gonna happen anytime soon. So, Homezu is going to go over here. You know it's bad when I start speaking Japanese. He's at least leveling up quite a lot. But he's going to make his way towards that middle thing, which thankfully he doesn't need to worry about the swamp because he has Frontiersman. This map is basic. Well, it's not the entire reason why I said that it's the best terrain skill. It's one of them. There are a lot more It's because there are a lot of Frontier maps. Like, Frontier, I think, is one of the most common terrain types, and it also, like, the skill makes you immune to swamp damage, and in general, Frontiersman is just a very good skill. Because Frontier maps are tedious, and you want them to be over as soon as possible. I like your terrible hit rates against me. Also, I believe that your weapon is considered an axe. Yeah, it's considered an axe. That doesn't really mean anything because there's no weapon triangle. I probably already mentioned that in an earlier video for zombies, but still. They made sure to put the chests into difficult terrain as well, just to make it extra tedious, like, and to draw out the map even longer and make sure that there are even more moguls. Some of them are probably not going to attack him. I can just tell. But also, like, it's not just the skirmishes that are why everyone you put in Holmes' party becomes really overleveled. It's just the fact that they have to go through this map. And it's not even route, and it's still force-feeding you a lot of experience. It's just... I feel like the tool-assisted speedrun probably manipulates the RNG so that these things don't divide, like, at all. And I would love if I could do that. Vega, I don't think he's activated Soul at all this map, which is interesting. By interesting, I mean, very unfortunate. You know what else is a sign that you're slowly losing your sanity? Making up lyrics to the music. Why does this map pass quality control? Sorry, that was bad. But anyway, yeah. I was gonna sing something about Vega, I don't know. Yeah, you get the idea. I'm already slowly starting to lose my sanity. And I mean, I like... It's funny, like, I recommend that people play TearRing Saga, but at the same time, this map actually makes it difficult for me to recommend this game to people sometimes. Because you have to go through this map, it's just like... Even when you know the ins and outs of it, and even when you can make it marginally less tedious, it's still, let's check conditions. Look at that. Oh, I guess that huge drop was when, Samson and Shigen, no, just Samson took damage. I think that was probably oh, that huge, no, the whole huge rise and drop is when Katri transforms. That must be it. There's no other explanation for that, because I don't know why the score would drop so drastically twice, but yeah, it must be Katri transforming. Probably don't even need to use the Killer Axe here, but oh well. But this map isn't even, like, really that bad. It's just, again, really long and annoying. Chapter 18 is coming up soon, though, and Chapter 18 is the one that I probably would legitimately consider the hardest map in the game. Admittedly, though, the hardest thing about it is optional. It's sort of an optional challenge. Yeah, they can divide even if they're fully surrounded. The new one just spawns in the nearest available space. Just like D&D teleport spells. How much accuracy do these guys have against Xeno? I'm actually kind of worried about them. Oh, well, they have, like, barely any hit rate against him. I'm more worried about him breaking his silver sword, then. Although I could possibly just physic him, maybe. I have the same amount of avoid with, yeah, that was totally necessary, Xeno. The same amount of avoid with, the iron sword as I do with the, silver. This is why I like Xeno. He has some pretty balanced all-round stats and decent strength for a sword user. Katri is running, as fast as she can. You can't catch her, she's the naive dragon lady! That doesn't really work. I mean, I suppose... Actually, no, maybe... No, I should probably go over Katri later, because she has a subplot that we haven't actually got to yet. I did have a bit of a weird tangent, though, considering the boss uses lightning magic, and the fact that I very often, like, find myself using, you know... Alicia, that's her name. Using Alicia on this map. Oh no, you're adjacent to Mahen. The tangent that I was going to talk about regarding that is that... So, there's this kind of thing. It involves Ishtar, but it mostly involves Reinhardt. So, there was this Reddit post, a while back, that basically speculated that Reinhardt was intended to be unsympathetic, and that, like, all of, like, the whole, like, Camus archetype aspects to him. Yeah, there's Hammer, and it's totally forced, though. 14 Mastery, though. How much does Katri have? Ugh, yeah, you might actually want to use a Mastery Potion for that. Or just attempt to grind Katri a lot. Because I'll want to have somebody use that eventually. Sorry to stop my tangent, but yeah, it's this one Reddit post that, personally, I don't think that was the intended way you were supposed to read the character. I feel like it was just one person's hot take that people accepted as canon. I do still think, though, that the Camus archetype didn't actually start getting bad until Selena in FE8, but that's a tangent that I plan on going on later in this game, because this being totally not Fire Emblem, it does have its own Camus archetype. And I actually believe they're handled decently well. And the reason why I feel like Reinhardt is not a bad Camus character is because you don't have to kill him. You can capture him, and in fact, if, the interesting thing is that if his hero's dialogue is any indication, capturing Reinhardt seems to be canon. Because he seems to refer to the events of fighting Leaf, but he also isn't implied to be a ghost like Sigurd in Heroes is, in some instances. And yeah, I kind of feel like that, I mean, that's at least what I want to believe personally, but it's a nice headcanon that capturing Reinhardt is canon. So now these two are going to slowly eat their way through these moguls. More defense is nice. Oh yes! Once Samson learns this, then things get really fun, because then moguls attack him and they just die. I mean, you know, that's a very generic statement, but, it's still pretty fun here. And now you have to spend turns getting out of the forest. Well, at least I had this chest locked down. Sage's Cloak. In fact, I think are all the rest of these promotion items? Oh, no, I know what one of them is. And it's... Some people were wondering why I didn't pick this item back at Orcus Village, but you'll see why. In fact, I just gave it away. It's because you get a free one in this chapter. But yeah, the thing I was going to say, though, about Reinhardt and Ishtar is that one thing people were kind of bringing up in that one hot take is saying that, like, Reinhardt's love for, like, one-sided love for Ishtar is supposed to be portrayed negatively. And while that may be the case, people also forget that, that Ishtar's boyfriend is Julius, someone who acts openly and publicly... Shigen this is ridiculous. I'm gonna have to use the strength potion on him now. Someone who openly and publicly acts blatantly evil, who openly endorses child murder, and is the host of a dark god and engages in murder competitions with her. It's like, sure, yeah, Reinhardt's taste in romance kind of sucks, but, I mean... Ishtar's not exactly a saint in the taste department either. Just saying. And like, I'm absolutely not arguing in any way that like Reinhardt needs to save Ishtar from Julius or anything like that. But I do think that she needs to save herself from Julius, because seriously, that is one of the plot points in Fire Emblem 4. If there's ever a remake, I hope they at least try and maybe explain it a little bit, although possibly explaining it could go into creepy, I don't know, Stockholm Syndrome abusive boyfriend territory, but like, it's one of those pairings where I just wonder, like, why? Why the heck is Ishtar still with Julius? It's like, again, he openly endorses child sacrifice. And he's not, like, someone who, like... I don't think she even knew him before he was possessed. Oh, actually, she probably did. I forget exactly how young Julius was when he was first possessed. In fact, I think Julius, even, like, after possession, Julius is still quite young, I think. In fact, Ishtar... Now I think that Ishtar's probably quite a bit older than he is. So that pairing is weird for other reasons. But, cause yeah, like, isn't Julius, like, a teenager or something? Because he can't be that much older than Julia, and I don't think Julia's, like... Julia's younger than Salif, and Salif is 16 by the time of the second generation. So, yeah. Anyway. A whole lot of weird issues there, but, like, why... I don't get, like, and for all we see of Ishtar's character, there's really nothing that implies that she's, you know, the kind of person who'd go for a crazy evil boyfriend like that. Like, it's not like a case of unholy matrimony, like the Briarwoods in Critical Role, where, you know, you've got villains who are a couple, and clearly love each other very much, but are both also very, very evil and revel in it. Wait a minute, have I actually killed all of them? They're all okay, it only took me 50 minutes to kill all the moguls. Didn't even need Katri up here. I guess Holmes has to gradually make his way up there. Finally, she's out of the swamp. It only took her to 1 HP. But yeah, I do not understand why, Ishtar stays with Julius. It just doesn't make any sense to me. And I don't think, like, it's not even portrayed as, like, Brunner and Zephyr, where it's, like, the tragic subordinate who is tragically in love with the villain. Which I love that that's actually made fun of in, the Isekai world in Persona 5 Strikers. But yeah, they actually do make fun of that archetype, and it's pretty great. Let's see. Oh, we only have one more turn of this place. Oh, actually 2 more turns, because Holmes can't quite get there. Yeah, there we go, Chukonu. I feel like with 60 uses, this is why I didn't pick up in Orcus, you only really need 1 per playthrough. And Holmes can use that. 20 weight though, he's not really going to be doubling with it anytime soon. But, oh, actually, he's decently close to having 0 attack speed with a Chukonu, and that is possible doubling territory. So, yeah, that could be possible later on. I mean, I really should have just been dancing repeatedly with Plum here, but, I mean, this map, you just want it to be over as soon as possible. And this only took a little bit slower than my my test playthrough, where I had Lionel, by the way, with Frontiersman. So, yeah, I hope you've enjoyed. I actually didn't have as much time for tangents as I thought I would, but, yeah. 1 more turn, and I will sum up this map with just, 3 words. What were they? Okay, no, actually, not what were they thinking, that's too cliche. I can sum up this map this way. If Who Is This Git knew about this map, I am positive it would end up on his Worst Levels Ever series. In fact, even a long time ago, on his Worst Levels Ever on Battle Before Dawn, I left a comment, and I'm pretty sure it's still there, and I think it got a lot of likes as well, mentioning this map and giving a very long description of exactly why this map is horrible and why it deserves to be on Worst Levels Ever. But now it's over! It's actually over! We have the hammer and stuff. Skilled clerics, yeah. Sadly, Catry is not quite skilled enough. Oh, am I not skilled? Is what she would say if she was smart, but no, she's like, oh no, I don't see any insult in your wording at all. Well, at least Holmes is being kind of nice at this point. No, of course I... Wait a minute, I was just joking. And my joke was actually real. Holmes. I mean, I'm sure he really does mean it, and this is just tsundere language. Again, because tsunderes. I think, I don't know if I think the quote is, I think I'm allergic to feelings. That quote sums up tsunderes so well. Because, like, that's kind of a thing with writing tsunderes, is that a lot of people who just do it just make them jerks for no reason and don't realize that they act like jerks because they're uncomfortable with expressing emotions and they, like, are uncomfortable with understanding their own feelings. Or are putting up some kind of a front, or are secretly really insecure and trying to hide it. A lot of people forget that and just think tsundere is just person who is annoying, loud, and slaps her love interest a lot. So we actually have the ability to travel around on the map a little bit. Now, what's interesting, and I'm going to save here first, is we're actually in a point in the game where once we get back to Blood, we're going to be switching over to Runen's group. I have a save state from Orcus Village still in case I pick the wrong chest items. Although if I do load it at this point, I'll have to do Chapter 16 again. So, once we head to Blood, we will be switching over to Runen's party for a few chapters. But while we have access to Holmes, we can actually go back into Murmel Caves again. This is something that I didn't know about in my first playthrough. I only discovered this just when I was testing it on my test playthrough. We have a skirmish here, and it'll be pretty much the same now. I think it's actually a little bit smaller though. Yeah, as you can see, the camera didn't pan as much. Thankfully, you don't have to go through the whole map. But we have a bunch of random monsters here, including some monsters we've never actually fought before, like Gargoyles. Yep, Gargoyles are in this game, and they're just as annoyingly durable as they were in Gaiden. Joy. Also, Harpies. We could have fought these before, but here are what they are. They have basically no HP and defense, so they die easily to bows, but they like to harass you, and they crit surprisingly often. And also, Draco Zombies, or Necro Dragons, if you're familiar with Gaiden. They have AoE Breath, which thankfully has very, very bad accuracy. But they have pretty good defense as well. I believe they are... Yes, they are considered flying. You can see that in their unit type there. So there's 5 chests here and 3 of them are already open. But the remaining 2 chests will contain... I don't think we can leave this map, so I'm actually going to go ahead and load my save file after this. Thankfully, I'm pretty sure I did save, so I won't have to redo, because having to reload that chapter would be pretty horrible. But these chests are random, and I found only one guide on the internet that tells you what the random items are, but it's that one really bad Game FAQs guide I was talking about before that recommends grinding for, recommends grinding for arena items all the way back in Chapter 7. It also translates the name of Chapter 16 as Demon Animals of Darkness, which is kind of funny. In fact, actually, I don't think I'll waste time talking about it. I'm going to flash up on screen what items are in all of these chests. So the rarest items are all stat boosters, and you can potentially get a movement booster out of that one. But that's the Mermal Cave Skirmish. I just want to check like all of our stats and just see how strong we got after that chapter. Because yeah, Samson is only level 14, but still has some pretty insane stats. Shigen is still not gained strength at all, which is ridiculous. I'm going to have to give him the strength potion, I think. Vega... So yeah, Vega. In fact, I can give Vega that hero crest. Because as I said before, he's going to be going back to Runan's route on the next split. I'll give him the hero crest. We're actually not quite done with Holmes' crew, but we will be having a little bit of an interlude to switch over to Runan's party. So, let's get that started by heading to Blood. Ah yes, the classic tsundere romance trope. Random bystanders assuming that they're a couple. Really? You look like an amazing couple. Again, classic shipping trope. Although that, I could have sworn you're being all lovey-dovey just makes me think of that thing about... I think it was the Lieutenant Surge episode where Joy says that thing about 2 people fighting means they really care about each other, and then Ash and Misty are both like, me care about her?